So it happened, the Ghoulsaw got buffed. Well, not the actual Ghoulsaw, that remains the same. It's Butcher's Revelry, the stance for the Ghoulsaw, that was buffed. And it was quite a substantial buff as well, to a point where the Ghoulsaw actually feels really good even in Steel Path. I kind of expected this to happen. I didn't expect it to happen so soon, but I expected some kind of a buff. And this is a really good way of doing it because the Ghoulsaw had decent stats. It was the stance that was lacking behind. Stances and combos are something I feel people tend to underestimate, but a good stance with a solid set of combos can make or break a melee weapon. So let's go over the changes. First up, we have Rictus's Wrath. That's the basic standard button mash combo. This now has a guaranteed slash proc on the second hit. They increase the damage multiplier from 200% to 300% on the third attack and 300% to 400% on the fourth attack. So more damage and a guaranteed slash proc. Next up, we have Rip and Ride, that's the Vroom Vroom combo, and here the damage multiplier on the second hit has been increased from standard to 200%, and the damage multiplier of the final hit went from 200% to 300%, so overall just more damage. And finally, we have the Reciprocator combo. This is the crazy spinny spin of doom, and it's the standard block combo. So here we have the damage of the first two hits of the first attack increased from doing 50% damage to actually doing true damage, so 100%. And the damage of the fourth hit from the first attack went from 100% to 200%. Then they added a guaranteed slash proc to the third hit in the second stage, and they increased the damage multiplier of the final hit of the combo from 300% to 400%. And then there is Ghoul Rush, which is the standard forward combo, and this one remains the same, so it's still a bit mediocre. This I think showcases really well how important a solid stance is for a melee weapon, because while previously the Ghoulsaw was really fun, it was lacking in damage, especially once you got into the sortie territory and especially in Steel Path. But now that we have some increased damage combined with forced slash procs on a lot of the combos, the weapon actually performs really well even in Steel Path. The upfront damage is much better, so it even feels better in lower level stuff because you're more likely to one-shot things, and once you get into endgame, the forced slash procs with the increased multipliers are just fantastic. It's definitely one of the better melee weapons now. It absolutely covers everything in Slash, so the only downside now is that the crit is not amazing, but it's still really good, especially if you pump it up a little bit more with gladiator mods. It's also slow as hell still, so either run Arcane Strike on the frame that you're using it on, or even subsume Warcry onto the frame to get some extra attack speed. Once you get that, it feels really good. The build remains pretty much the same as well. I still like to run Primed Reach to bump up the range to 5.15, which feels amazing, especially with the Reciprocator combo. It's a pretty straightforward hybrid setup, though one thing you could do if you're running the Naramon Focus School so your combo doesn't decay all at once is take out Drifting Contact and squeeze in a little bit of damage in that way. This is a pretty unusual way of buffing a weapon because most of the weapon classes have more than one weapon per weapon class, so if you buff the combo, you're gonna buff all of them at once. But here we have one weapon with one stance, so if the weapon is fine, you might as well just buff the stance to make it a little bit better. Plus, if we get any other Assault Souls in the future, it's already gonna have this really juicy stance to go with it. But anyway, that's pretty much all there is to it, so I thank you very much for watching as always, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it helpful, and I will see you some other time. Bye bye.